Tammy, what are you doing?
Sit your bird ass down.
Tammy?
Make room for the king of the jungle. I was taking the game out of when it's they crumble. That was different, it got me livid. I'm itching to rumble, and I won't quit till all of you bitches are humbled. Better come with the next level approach, cause you know I never settle my vendettas alone. I'm just better than most, the best ever to gold. If I'm truly being honest, the rest never were close. They can tell that I come with the ambition for turning a rap dream right into a damn living. Advanced writtens, I gotta been leaving the fans tripping. I be giving all the business right down to my last minute. Hope y'all mad that you running a rap race, stuck in the past, fucking with a couple of classmates, puffing the grass, but ain't got enough in the gas tank. Struggle for cash while I fucking double my fan base.
The trick to cereal is keeping 70% of it above the milk.
This blanket statement presumes that all cereal has the same absorption rate. 70% may make sense for Corn Flakes or Cheerios, but you definitely want to land somewhere between 50 to 60% for Fruit Loops or Cocoa Puffs. And God forbid you veer into shredded wheat territory and end up with one of those big old Ted Lasso biscuits. You're going to want to let that thing soak for 5 days minimum, maybe in a mixture of equal parts vinegar and dish soap, after which you toss that shit in the trash and figure out what you're doing with your life.
This entire sin is nothing short of annoying and nitpicky. Besides, this is Jerry we're talking about, dude. He's an idiot.
It's like the intergalactic version of UPS, but less off-putting.
Throwing shade at UPS and pretending like FedEx and Amazon also haven't been leaving packages at the end of my driveway. And outside of the fence.
What? Why is any of this a sin? Rick throws some shade at UPS, but since he didn't mention Amazon or FedEx, he gives a sin because he thinks Rick is ignoring their existence, I guess? This is stupid on many levels.
Our TV signals take light years to reach his planet. Nobody tell him that Braveheart wins.
First off, a light year is a measure of distance, not time.
Obviously, Rick was referring to the distance of the planet, but said it this way because he was also referring to the amount of time it would take to get there as a result of that distance.
What the hell is a bird person?
He's Rick's best friend.
Jerry said what, not who. And even then, Bird Person is much more than just Rick's best friend. He's so many things.
Jesus Christ. None of this is a sin at all. Jerry asks what Bird Person is, and Morty answers with what he knows, that Rick's best friend is Bird Person. That's not a sin. And then the second part about Bird Person being so many things was weird and not funny. So that's dumb too.
Weddings are basically funerals with cake.
Cute marriage equals death cliche, but if that were true, then funerals with cake would have to basically be weddings, and speaking from experience, I can tell you they are not.
That's not a cliche, my dude. Get a dictionary.
You just say what's in your squanch, and people understand.
Oh, okay.
Skip.
Maybe it's possible that Rick and family beat Jerry here, but I have no way to prove it either way, so I'm going to send it to be safe. And because I'm an asshole.
Admitting you're an asshole doesn't excuse you for being an asshole. Or for being stupid, cause that sin was remarkably dumb. You admit that it's possible for the family to have beaten Jerry to the wedding, but you sin the episode for not going out of its way to show us that? See? He's being stupid.
You say you get it, but I'm scared you'll keep doing it.
Title of my sex tape?
Discount Jeremy makes a cringy sex joke that isn't funny cliche.
Look, here's some humans you can practice on.
Title of the sequel to my sex tape?
I'll kindly refer you to the previous sin.
Blood Ridge on Clap Flap's third moon.
Show uses a variation of the word flap cliche.
And you're still not using that term correctly, G.
Bird person, you are my seed, my worm, my earliness.
Surely one cannot be both the seed and the worm. Plus, lateness is generally more common when the first two come into play.
Jesus Christ. Pointless nitpicking is pointless.
Pulling out someone's innards, even jokingly.
Pointing things out on the screen, even stupidly. Well, actually, especially stupidly.
I am a cyborg photographer. Just act natural. This is a candid shot.
I'm not sure if the cyborg gaze is problematic or not, but until I can collect more data, I'm going to assume it's a precursor to Terminator Salvation.
Discount Jeremy makes a Terminator pop culture reference that isn't a sin of the episode cliche.
Writers didn't save this joke for its Rick Sanchez in the Temple of Squanch episode. Also, they really turned this joke on its head.
I let two sins play there to give you a little taste of back-to-back jokes that completely flopped. Seriously, did anyone actually find those funny?
Being nice is something stupid people do to hedge their bets.
You know, as funny as it is, this is the kind of shit that serves as a driving force behind the show's toxic fandom.
Discount Jeremy sins something he likes cliche.
Bird murder. Birder?
Discount Jeremy points things out on the screen cliche.
The laser fire from these blasters killed Bird Person, but barely leaves a scratch on what we can assume from the instrument and location are referred to as baseballs?
So, Aaron, when we're at an alien wedding with a ton of unknown objects and species, we see lasers being blocked by one of the many unknown objects. Since we know nothing about the object, it's safe to say that what the show tells us, in this case that the balls are laserproof, is true about said object. Therefore, why are you sinning this?
This catering space fan has super convenient worm-based countermeasures.
Convenient? Are you sure about that? Do you know what that word means? The van was a food truck, and since Bird Person was the one who had it come to his wedding, it makes sense that it would have worms. You know, because he's half bird.
So the Smiths are super lucky the Galactic Federation hasn't realized the benefits of spaceships that don't immediately explode when they slightly bump into each other. When they develop that technology, Rick will really have to pull some science out of his ass.
Discount Jeremy tries to apply logic to a cartoon ex machina.
You, Summer.
Saying F you to your granddaughter. Well, at least in this case.
You can't say F you to your granddaughter?
We already covered this, Morty. Say you don't watch TVSins without saying you don't watch TVSins.
This is a perfect example of the TVSins writers using a scene to inflate the amount of sins in their video for the sole purpose of making said video longer. Notice how he could have just said Morty would be excellent at TVSins after he delivered his line, but instead they forced 2 sins here. Gotta get them watch time minutes, I guess.
If the Smiths think a star screaming for 42 hours is the worst of it, wait till they see its coronal mass ejections after eating a space burrito.
Was that a poop joke? From the people who always sin poop jokes? That's hypocritical.
Maybe I can buy that the space fan had a TV handy and that Rick had some sort of interdimensional cable thumb drive with him or something. I mean, I don't want to buy it, but I'm going to try to get past it. However, I do not buy that they build a f***ing log cabin in this short amount of time. Also, I've decided I can't get past the working TV and cable signal thing. So...
Yet again, he gives an explanation for why something is not a sin, but then sins it anyway. Also, Discount Jeremy tries to apply logic to a cartoon ex machina.
We discovered a species of tiny pig off the coast of New Australia.
We'd offer you some, but we hunted it to extinction for breakfast.
I know the whole joke is that living on this tiny planet is clearly not sustainable. However, the idea that not only Rick, the smartest man in the universe, but the entire family, excluding Jerry of course, wouldn't have foreseen this food shortage as a problem is pretty laughable, especially when you consider that later in the show Rick casually goes to a bar before turning himself in. Surely they could whip up some disguises to pick up groceries at the nearest intergalactic grocery store.
Hold up. He started the sin by complaining about how Rick didn't foresee Tiny Planet not being sustainable, but now he's suggesting they simply go to the store based on how Rick goes to a bar later? Do you see what happened there? Obviously, that was what Rick was planning on doing, but ended up cutting their stay on Tiny Planet short by turning himself in.
Morty effortlessly sending this frisbee around the entire planet raises multiple questions about the gravity here and how they're able to walk around like normal. Alright. Just the one question, I guess.
Discount Jeremy tries to apply logic to, you know what, screw this. You already know what this sin is for.
Galactic Federation.
I feel better.
Show expects us to believe that medicine works this quickly, and as someone who's sitting here an hour later waiting for his edible to kick in, I'm calling bullshit. And this unicorn that's been hanging out with me for the last hour totally agrees.
Alright, cool joke. It wasn't as bad as your typical jokes, but I've still got to point out the fact that this medicine is from a super advanced race of aliens. It's not a real life medicine.
What are you in for?
Everything.
I really hate cliffhangers like this. If you're going to put a character's fate in jeopardy, at least make it someone that we might believe will be stuck in this prison or killed. We know Rick won't be killed, and we know Rick won't spend the rest of the series in prison. This cliffhanger is all kinds of squanch.
You're absolutely correct that we know Rick won't die, but death isn't the only thing that can create suspense. You don't yet know how Rick will escape or where the story will go from here. This ending is still great.
But at least you have people to want to come and visit you. My family hasn't been to see me since my trial. You eat 9 people and all of a sudden they don't know who you are anymore.